Hello, my friend of shared destiny. Are you feeling tired? Not necessarily the fatigue of the flesh, but the exhaustion of a soul that has been racing too much. Too much noise, too much pressure to succeed, and too much effort to seek validation from others. We often think that to change our lives, we need to add effort, add skills, add wealth. But try to pause for a beat and ask yourself, what if your life doesn't need fixing, but releasing? Instant transformation does not come from trying to become someone else. It comes from the moment you dare to lay down unnecessary burdens. The things I am about to share with you are not mere theories. They are powerful inner shifts that you can perform right now, right here, to rediscover the freedom and peace that are inherently yours. Principle 1. Let go of the illusion of control. The first principle for creating instant transformation is let go of the illusion of control. My dear friend, most of the fatigue and misery in this life do not come from physical burdens, but from our straining to bend the world to our will. We want our loved ones to behave the way we think is right. We want work to have immediate results, and we want the future to unfold exactly like the script in our heads. But look back. Is trying to control those things beyond your reach any different from trying to grasp a stream of water with your bare hands? The tighter you grip, the more the water flows away, leaving you only with helplessness and weary hands. In Buddhist wisdom, suffering, dukkha, arises from attachment to the idea of how things should be. When reality unfolds differently from your expectations, inner conflict explodes. You suffer not because of the event itself, but because of your resistance to that event. Instant transformation occurs the very moment you realize you are not the executive director of this universe. You cannot stop the rain, but you can absolutely choose to open an umbrella or smile while watching the rain. Instead of wasting energy controlling external circumstances, recall that energy to master your own reaction. Peace does not come when everything goes your way, but when you no longer require everything to go your way. Right now, try to loosen your clenched hands. Let life unfold as it is. When you stop arguing with reality, the 1,000-pound burden on your shoulders will automatically drop. That is freedom. Principle 2. Sit still with yourself. Do not flee into distraction. Once you have let go of external control, we need to face a greater challenge within, the fear of stillness. Try to observe your normal day. As soon as there's a small gap, while waiting at a red light or sitting alone, does your hand unconsciously reach for your phone? We constantly fill our minds with news, social media, loud music. We are afraid to face silence because we fear the feeling of emptiness. But my dear friend, listen closely to this. You are not empty. You are unattended. Your soul is like a child sitting alone in a room. It is not sad because it lacks toys. It is sad because its parents, which is your attention, are always busy looking out the window instead of looking at it. Distraction is how we flee from ourselves. Right now, I invite you to perform a courageous act. Put your phone down, screen side down. Spend exactly 5 minutes sitting still with yourself. Do nothing. No advanced meditation is required. Just sit there, feel the breath going in and out, and listen to your heartbeat. If sadness or restlessness arises, smile and welcome it like an old friend. When you dare to sit still with yourself, you will realize that inside you is a rich and complete world that does not need to borrow joy from anywhere else. That return is the root of inner strength. Principle 3. Embrace the pain that is regenerating you. After learning to sit still with yourself, we will face together a guest no one wants to invite. Pain. Our natural reflex is to deny and resist. We scream in our minds, "Why me? I don't deserve this." But my dear friend, pain is not an enemy that comes to destroy you. Pain is the strictest but most devoted teacher, coming to help you break the old shells that have become too tight. Look at a seed. To sprout and grow into a tall, shading tree, the seed must undergo a painful process. It must break its own protective shell. If the seed fears pain and breaking, it will remain forever still in the dark, rotting earth. The pain of the breaking shell is the signal of rising life. Likewise, the failures, losses, or hurts you are carrying are not the end. They are the cracks through which light enters. Instead of constantly agonizing over the question, why me? Try to change your perspective and ask, what is this shaping? Perhaps it is teaching you courage. Perhaps it is teaching you tolerance. Or perhaps it is teaching you how to let go of what no longer fits. When you view pain as the material to create a better version of yourself, you will no longer fear it. You will accept it with gratitude and the courage of a warrior. Principle 4. Simplify life to clear the mind. My dear friend, there is a paradox that we often try to seek peace by adding, buying more things, making more friends, consuming more information. But the Buddha taught that the source of restlessness often comes from overcommitting ourselves. A room stuffed with belongings makes the air stifling. A mind filled with desires becomes chaotic. Simplicity is the height of sophistication. When you subtract the cumbersome external things, the internal space automatically opens up. Do not mistake owning more for being happier. Sometimes, happiness lies in freedom from material attachments. Today, practice simplification with a small act. Look around the room and courageously discard one item you no longer use. Review your contacts and let go of one social relationship that only brings exhaustion. Or simply let go of a comparative thought that is causing you misery. Every time you discard something unnecessary, you are returning precious, breathing room to your mind. When your life becomes lighter, your mind will become clearer. Remember, less is more. Principle 5. Become the observer, not the reactor. When life throws unwanted things at you, an insult, an unpleasant message, or an unexpected accident, our natural reflex is to react immediately. We get angry, we get scared, and we let our emotions sweep us away like a dry leaf in a storm. But my dear friend, you are not your emotions. You are the vast sky containing those emotional clouds. The fifth principle invites you to step into a higher position, the position of the observer. Next time anger flares up, instead of shouting, "I am going crazy," try to pause for a beat. Take a deep breath and gently whisper in your head, "Ah, anger is visiting. Irritation is present here." Just with that small change in labeling, you have created a safe distance between yourself and the anger. You no longer identify yourself with it. Practice the formula. Stop, breathe, observe. In that brief pause, you switch from the state of reaction by instinct to a state of conscious response. You no longer let external circumstances pull your strings like a puppet. You master the house of your consciousness. When you observe without judgment, emotions will automatically settle down like sea waves hitting the shore and then vanishing, returning to you your inherent peace. Principle 6. Let go of an identity built from pain. We often lock ourselves in narrow identity boxes. I am a hot-tempered person. I am a failure. I am a person who always has bad luck. We believe that is our unchangeable nature. This is just who I am. But the Buddha taught that there is no fixed self. You are a constantly changing flow. What you call nature is actually just a collection of habits and reactions from the past. You are not your wounds. Right now, forgive your old version. The one who reacted wrongly out of fear. The one who was weak out of ignorance. Thank that person for protecting you in the past, but do not carry them further into the future. Courageously declare, the past is gone. The me of today is a new beginning. When you let go of the old labels, you free yourself to become anyone you desire. Freedom begins when you stop defining yourself by your scars. Principle 7. Walk alone without fear. There is a major confusion we often make, equating solitude with loneliness. Loneliness is the feeling of lack when no one is around. Solitude, or being still by oneself, is the most complete and whole state of the soul. Remember the image of the Buddha when he left the magnificent palace, left the cheers, and the bustle to walk alone into the deep forest. It was in that absolute silence, when there was no one to rely on but himself, that he found the light of enlightenment. My dear friend, the path to finding truth and peace is often a solitary one. Do not be afraid to walk alone. Do not wait for the applause of the crowd to know if you are headed in the right direction. The most important confirmation comes from the silent voice within your heart. When you dare to be alone without feeling empty, you possess an unparalleled inner strength. You become the lamp that lights itself. Instant transformation occurs when you realize you do not need anyone else to feel whole. You are already complete within your own stillness. Principle 8. Choose mindfulness over multitasking. We move to the 8th principle, a necessary antidote for the disease of the digital age. Choose mindfulness over multitasking. My dear friend, we often pride ourselves on the ability to do many things at once. We eat while scrolling through phones. We walk while calculating work in our heads. But look back. When your attention is torn into 100 pieces, your life also becomes fragmented, disjointed, and shallow in exactly the same way. You are present everywhere on the internet, but absent right in your own real life. Multitasking does not make you more efficient. It only wears you out faster. Instant transformation does not need a strange miracle. It lies in the ability to return. Practice the simple but profound teaching of Zen masters. When eating, only know you are eating. When walking, only know you are walking. Do not let the mind run ahead of the feet. Do not let anxiety swallow the flavor of the meal. The moment you recall your attention to a single point, as soon as you place your full intention into washing a bowl or drinking a cup of tea, chaos will immediately vanish. Time seems to stop, and peace manifests instantly. That is the power of presence. It turns dull, ordinary moments into sacred and deep ones. Stop racing. Live each moment fully. It is the only way for you to truly live, instead of just existing. Principle 9. Break the loop by changing thoughts. We move to the 9th principle, which goes deep into the root of destiny. Break the loop of suffering by changing the flow of thoughts. My dear friend, the Buddha once taught a great truth. We are the result of what we think. Your mind is not just a storage place for information. It is a factory that creates reality. A repetitive thought becomes a belief. A deeply rooted belief drives action. And that chain of actions weaves the tapestry of your life. If you keep believing you are a victim, you will unconsciously attract injustices. If you believe life is hard, you will always see obstacles. To create instant transformation, you need to learn to be the mindful gatekeeper of the mind through a 3-step process. Catch, question, and replace. Catch. When a negative thought like, "I can't do it," or "I am so pathetic" rings out, identify it immediately. Do not let it slip away into the subconscious and control your emotions. Label it. Ah, here is a negative thought visiting. Question. Pause and ask yourself, is this really 100% true? Is there any evidence that I am pathetic? Or is this just an old fear? When you shine the light of doubt on blind beliefs, they will begin to wobble and lose their power. Replace. Actively sow a new, truer, and healthier seed into the soil of the mind. Instead of saying, "I failed," say, "I am learning and I am progressing every day." Instead of saying, "Life is so unfair," say, "This challenge makes me stronger." The moment you change a thought, you have changed your brain structure and steered the direction of your destiny toward a brighter path. You are the master of the house of consciousness. Do not let negative guests occupy it anymore. Principle 10. Return to the breath, the anchor of peace. And finally, we come to the 10th principle, the most fundamental yet most miraculous one for finding balance immediately. Return to the breath. My dear friend, throughout your life, there's a loyal friend who has always accompanied you from the first moment you cried upon entering the world until the last breath you leave the world with. The breath. But ironically, we often neglect that friend the most. We let the mind chase external worries, and leave the breath shallow and hurried in the chest. In the wisdom of Buddhism and Eastern spiritual traditions, the breath is not just air, it is prana, the flow of life energy, the sacred bridge between body and mind. When your mind is restless, the breath will be disordered. But conversely, when you actively calm the breath, the mind will automatically settle like a still lake. Modern science has also proven that deep and slow breathing sends a direct safety signal to the nervous system, activating the body's natural relaxation and healing mechanisms, helping to reduce heart rate and blood pressure immediately. The breath is the sturdiest anchor to keep your soul ship from drifting into the far seas of past or future illusions. Whenever you feel lost, afraid, or overwhelmed, remember that you always have a peaceful home to return to, your own breath. Right now, I invite you to pause all thoughts, relax your shoulders, and join me in a simple connection practice. Sit comfortably, gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Feel the cool air entering, filling your chest and abdomen. Imagine you are breathing in fresh energy, peace, and the light of the universe. And then breathe out very slowly and smoothly through your mouth or nose. Feel the release spreading throughout your body. Imagine you are casting off all tension, all anxiety, and fatigue as the breath goes out. Inhaling, I know I'm alive. Exhaling, I smile at life. In the moment you are whole with this breath, time seems to stop. No more past, no more future, only pure presence. You are safe. You are steadfast. Instant transformation does not need a strange miracle. It lies right in your ability to return and dwell in your breath. Carry this anchor with you so that no matter how great the storm outside, you always maintain tranquility in your soul. My dear friend, we have walked through 10 principles together, much like opening 10 doors to return to our own inner home. Instant transformation is not a distant destination at the end of the horizon. It lies right in each moment you choose to let go, choose to be mindful, and choose to love. Please engrave this final message in your heart. You are not broken. You are becoming. Every wound is where the light enters. Of the 10 principles above, which one stayed with you most deeply today? Please share it in the comments below as a way to anchor the lesson for yourself and resonate healthy energy with everyone. If this video has brought you peace of mind, please hit the subscribe button so we can continue to accompany each other on the path to finding balance. May your body and mind always be at peace. Goodbye and see you again.